All right, Metalheads, this is DJ Rem from Metal Devastation Radio, and I have the guys from the band Annominus on the line. How you guys doing?
Excellent. How about you?
I am doing
Yeah.
wonderful. It's a cold, rainy day here in the United States, so
Yeah, it's the same here.
yeah.
Well, then and it's in Denmark. It's always cold and rainy, so that's not really something new. So,
All right, so why don't you guys start? If you can if each person could introduce themselves and their spot in the band, please.
of course, I'll start. My name is Martin. I'm the rhythm guitarist, and
Yep.
on the line we also have Jacob.
Yep. That's me, and I'm the lead singer.
We also have Matthias,
Yeah, I am the drummer and screamo vocal.
we also have Peter,
Yeah, and I play the bass.
and Morton.
I play the lead guitar.
Nice.
So the entire band is here.
Yay!
So, how long have you guys been together as a band?
Well, the current constellation's been around for roughly 1.5 years, but the band started like 5 years ago. It was actually the singer, the drummer, and Mr. Lead Guitar. Those three started the band 5 years back, and me and Peter joined 1.5 years ago. After that, we started working on the album, and most of the songs that are on the album has been written or changed since. So the current constellation, 1.5 years, roughly.
Okay, very cool. And what is going on with you guys right now? What do you guys have lined up for shows and stuff?
Well, it's a busy time actually. We're releasing our debut album here on the 17th of November. Obviously a lot of work had gone into that. It's going to be released worldwide. After that, we have a pre-release concert up to. We got a tour in the making this spring, although that's most likely only going to be in Denmark and maybe northern Europe in total. Other than that, we're trying to expand or getting our music distributed into the US as well. So there's a lot of different areas in trying to maximize the potential of this record, getting it out to as many listeners as we can. So
Yeah.
that's the primary focus at the moment.
All right, very cool. I wish you guys the best of luck with all of that.
Thanks.
So, what is the primary spark that helped bring this band together and get you guys started? Whose idea was it to get you guys going?
I think I'll let Jacob answer that one, as he's one of the veterans of the band.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's a funny story because another guy and I were talking about starting a band, and we met Matthias. Actually, caught him drumming on a wooden crate or something like that. And we were like, well, that sounded pretty cool. And so we kind of asked him if he wanted to join, and yeah, one thing led to another. But the basic idea behind it was to get together around I don't know, something that everybody could contribute to, everybody could get something out of, even us, and of course the audience. So I don't know, a shared mutual love for music in general. We come from a lot of different backgrounds. I listen to a lot of classical music, and I guess the others could talk about what they listen to. But a lot of different genres are being put into this, and it's awesome.
So,
Okay.
but mostly it's also the sheer passion of trying to create a musical genre that incorporates all that we love, but also trying to bring a unique twist to it.
Exactly.
We want to diverge between other bands. There's a lot of metal bands that go all the way and try to be as hardcore as they can, or try to be as evil as they can. We're trying to bring it back a little bit and trying to combine the rock and the metal elements. So there's a genre both for those who are just entering hard rock metal, and also those who already listen to it. So we're trying to bring something on the table for a lot of different listeners, and maybe introduce a new genre to those who haven't tried it yet.
Very cool. And I think I mentioned earlier that I've been listening to the album from beginning to end over and over, and I think that's one of the reasons that I was attracted to this album is it does not sound like everybody else out there.
That's good to hear. That's the goal.
Yeah, one of the things that I, as the lead guitarist, really worked hard on is bringing the like getting the what the fuck is the word? Originality. Being original.
Yeah. unique twist to the sound, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, I think you guys have succeeded, at least from my perspective. So good job.
Thanks.
So, how often do you guys get together and practice right now?
3 times a week, actually. I'll admit we usually also rehearse on Sundays. Admittedly, that's one of the slower ones. That's where we usually sit, hang around, have fun. But we usually get together 3 times a week at the moment to both write new material, to rehearse the set, of course, and also discuss what the immediate future brings.
Very good. So I'm assuming Sunday is the recovery day from
Definitely, it's when half the group is usually hungover. So it's one of those days where we try to plan out, see what we do, and most of the time, like every second Sunday, we usually just get together and have fun. I mean, being in a band, it's important to both have, of course, the musical aspect, but also just being a bunch of friends that are having a good time. A lot of people seem to forget that once they get to a certain stage, that it's all about the business, and we have a lot of focus on just having fun. I mean, it all started out as a hobby and bringing together, writing the music, and having fun all the way. And we're really doing everything we can to incorporate that. That's really important for us.
Definitely extremely important, especially with bands today. I mean, you see how they come and go quite quickly.
Yeah. I mean, the business is cutthroat these days, so it's important to have fun along the way. Otherwise, it could get quite a chore.
Yep, very good. So here's a question for each of you. I'm curious to know what musical influences you had in your life growing up, and even to this day, that made you want to do something like this.
Yeah. Well, let's have Peter start with that one.
Yeah, I try not to make it as long because I have a lot of musical influences. But for me, it's a lot of well, when I started listening to music, it was like King Diamond and Merciful Fate, of course, but also a lot of the New Orleans sound, Sludge, Crowbar, I Hate God, stuff like that, and of course Slayer and Metallica, all that. But also, a lot of old funk and just the Danish punk scene and the American hardcore scene was and is still really important to me. Like Black Flag is for me one of the best bands ever. Still.
Yeah,
So
well,
kind of like that.
yeah, and from my perspective, growing up, it was like I mentioned before, classical music, and of course, Metallica was one of the first bands I really listened to. Yeah, a lot. So also Evanescence, some Nightwish, Creed, and all that. So a lot of different genres there as well.
Well, from my perspective, I started out with a very conservative father who told me, "Well, you should play the accordion." So I did that for years, and I got good at it. But I also want to play the drums, and suddenly I heard Rage Against the Machine for the first time, and I was hooked. So I had to learn more about metal and hard rock. So I listened to a bunch of bands over the years, and now I'm here, and luckily my parents are very, very supportive. So.
Well, I mean, I started out with, I think the first album I bought was The Offspring, Americana, and then I just kind of like delved back into like metal and like stoner rock, I think like that, like Black Sabbath, of course, Caius, Metallica, of course. I mean, like I listened to Metallica for like a long time before I delved into stuff like Sepultura and Slayer and of course Megadeth, like the entire like thrash scene.
And myself, I'm probably the guy who listens to most modern metal. I didn't get into the metal scene before, I think, around 2000, so it's most like the modern, like Slipknot, Disturbed, Killswitch Engage, those kind of bands, the modern wave of metal that came around that era. So that's mostly where I draw my inspiration from. Also being the rhythm guitarist, a lot of the heavy chucking and all the rhythm that I'm putting into it is usually heard in more modern metal, more simple variant where I support the drums more. So that's my main focus. That's where I got introduced to the genre, so to speak.
Okay, is that everybody?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, very cool. Have you heard the new Slipknot album? It's freaking amazing.
Yeah, I just
It
heard it
all-
like yesterday. It's brilliant. I mean, I was a little bit scared of listening to it because of the two new members and all that they've gone through, but it surprised me. It's really really good.
Yep. And I heard somebody mention Rage and Machine. I was actually listening to Rage last night.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
me.
That band, it doesn't matter how long it goes by, that band always rocks.
Definitely.
Yeah, timeless.
That's the word I was looking for, timeless. Thank you.
No worries.
So tell me, how did you guys come up with the name of the band? Where's Anonymous come from?
Jacob, you want to take this one?
Actually, I'm going to pass it on to Morten because it was his idea.
Go for it.
Well, I mean, I think that we had our old name, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce again. So I mean, like, and we just kind of decided that we needed something that had like that was easier to pronounce and had a bit of a hook. So I started like playing around with some ideas, and I was like the entire I guess you could say the inspiration was that we needed to, or I wanted to create something that was kind of new. So that's where the like anno and minus came in, like year minus, I suppose. Then I just talked to Jacob about it, and then that kind of spawned.
Yeah, well, we kind of got the feeling that it would be a good idea because, when we decided to change our name, we kind of wanted to go back to the beginning. So, yeah, Anno minus, but of course, that's the Danish pronunciation. So yeah, it kind of signifies going back to your roots, starting over again. It's kind of like the album, actually.
Okay, very cool, very cool. So speaking of the album, let's talk about it. So the new album that's out, End of Atonement, it is out, correct?
Not yet. It's going to be released on the 17th of November.
Okay,
so-
November 7th. See, I get stuff early, so I always lose. All right,
No,
so
it should,
November
you should be able to
17th.
pre-order actually. But yeah, so November 17th is going to be out worldwide.
Okay, very good. And so let's talk about this. How long did it take you guys from the beginning of when you started writing for this album to actually having it ready to go and produce and recorded?
Oh, that's a good question. Wasn't it like it was actually before I joined? We had a few of the songs when I joined. I think roughly half the album was ready, or was at least in the in its infancy, so to speak, when I started in. But Jacob, how long was it that you started writing it?
Well, the opening track, aside from the intro, is actually the third song we ever made. So it's been long in the making, so to speak. But yeah, you're correct. Roughly half the album was in some way created before you and Peter joined.
Yeah.
But I know we kind of, like you said earlier, we tweaked and we twisted a lot, and so I don't know if you want to put a timeline on it. I guess it took maybe, I don't know, a year from when we started actually talking about doing this album till the first day of recording.
Okay, and then what studio did you guys use?
It's a studio in Denmark called CB Studios, with a guy named Christian. He's immensely talented, a really cool guy. I knew him from one of my previous bands, and I talked a lot with him. He's done a lot of the upcoming metal and rock bands in Denmark as well. So he went to one of the premium studios we have in Denmark. We wanted to make sure that we didn't take some, to save money, to take some mediocre studio. We want to go all the way and get it as good as we possibly could. The best product that we could that would signify our music and get the best possible result. So we went to one of the best studios in Denmark to actually get this done. But it's all done in-house, the same place.
So they did the mastering there as well for you?
Yeah. We got one guy both with the recording and the mixing and the mastering. So we had the same guy all the way through the process. We had a long talk with him before we actually started to say what our vision were, what we wanted to do with the music, gave me some examples, and we talked a lot about it before we actually started. So we knew that the guy pushing the buttons all the way through to the final product would be aligned with the expectations that we had and the vision that we had for the music, the sound itself. He was great all the way through. I mean, he gave us also some feedback, and I said we had a lot of talk about how this was gonna be done the best way possible.
That's very cool. You guys really put a lot of thought and effort into it. You didn't just go in there and do it, which I think a lot of bands do, and I think that's why they come out with crap.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of people who go by naming more than the vision itself. I mean, they get their album overproduced, or they go to one guy for recording it, another guy for mixing it, and a third guy for mastering. But the experience that I have is that usually the vision of the record gets lost beneath all those names, all those guys who are pushing the buttons, and it's usually easier to get the right idea if you have the right guy from the start to the end. So you can always tweak it instead of getting a famous name on the album itself.
Okay, very cool. So speaking of visions, I'm sitting here looking at the cover for the album because I'm a huge, I guess I would say, cover buff. It's very important. It's very important to me that bands put time and effort into the cover. And obviously, it looks like a lot of time and effort went into this cover. So who designed it for you, and what was the vision behind that?
Actually, it's also a local guy in Denmark who made it for us. He goes by the name Monkey Mouth, his artist name. I'm not going to give away his real name because he prefers Monkey Mouth. He also made some covers for Acily Dying. I think 2 of their albums he designed. We had also a lot of talk with him because what we wanted to... We wanted to be able to tell the listener just by looking at the cover what kind of genre they're looking at, and what the record itself would actually signify. The record it has 2 sides. For those, of course, that haven't seen it, there's a bruised face on the cover, and there's a more angelic face on the back of it, signifying the journey between or in the album story that we're trying to tell. Going from one place to another, going from a bruised up ego or bruised up mentality over to kind of, well, putting yourself back together and seeing a new start. So we wanted to try and capture that essence on the album itself.
Okay, well, very cool. And thank you for putting time and effort into the cover. Like I said, it's very important to me.
Oh, actually, I have a question for you because we had a discussion in the band where we were making the album. Are you did you open the album itself and read the lyrics inside the booklet?
I don't have the physical copy. I only have the digital copy.
Oh, okay. Because we actually talked about it a lot. Of seeing how many would actually open, and because in the booklet, in the physical copy, every single lyric to every single song is inside it, and it was a fun discussion. But we were trying to figure out how many would actually open it if they got the physical copy. So just a little quick question.
So I'll say this: if the physical copy showed up at my door, I would go through it.
All right. I'll see if we can get one sent to you. I mean, if you like it so much, it's only stands to reason that you should get one with autographs on it.
That would be freaking amazing and make me very happy.
Of course, we'll see to it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I have a whole shelf next to me. It's all there's no mainstream music on it. It's all independent bands like you guys, that are out there trying to do something that bands have sent me, and that's like my. Don't ever touch my CDs or you'll die kind of thing.
I like it.
Okay, so where can people go to find out more about the band? What social networking, what websites are you guys using right now?
Primarily Facebook. We also have Reverb Nation. We have a small MySpace page, but we haven't really delved into it. It made us dizzy. We're also on Twitter and Instagram. We're trying to cover all the bases, but our primary focus at the moment are Facebook and Reverb Nation. Those are the 2 primary that we use at the moment. Actually, Reverb Nation are starting to get a little bit more focus as we're trying to go into the American market, and it seems like Reverb Nation is actually quite popular over there.
Yes, it is.
So we're trying to put on some exclusive songs on there, and most likely we'll also put a few more songs up for a preview once the album is released.
Very cool.
So,
do you have is there any music on your Reverb page that's not on the album, like old stuff?
No, not yet. All the old stuff is recorded in a quality that we decided to pull down for now.
I got you.
So currently it's only the album. You could probably find some live recordings, etc., with some songs that we haven't released on the new album at least. But most of
Okay.
the old EP or old demo is, I think it's gone from the net at the moment.
I think you can probably find one song, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So, what are the goals for the band? Where do you guys hope to be in, say, 2 years from now?
That's a big one. There's a definite goal with making a career out of this. I mean, we don't expect to be superstars. We don't expect to be living mansions, but the primary focus is playing a lot of concerts and getting a career out of it. Just to pay the bills so we can go around playing our music, we can play concerts, have fun, see the world, interact with our fans across the globe that we really want to meet. I mean, we're having a fantastic time every time we play in concert. People are really friendly and warm. They are supporting us everywhere we go. And it's awesome. We are so privileged on that aspect to see how many people actually support us. And we want to get out there and give them a good show and well, see everything that we can see and give them as much as we can. It's really what we live for in this band, is to have those concerts where we obviously can see that people are having fun and having a good time and interacting with them in general.
Yeah, but Martin, you have to admit that a mansion would be cool.
Of course, I mean, it would be a definite bonus, but the goal for now is just to get a career out of it and seeing as many places as we can, having fun along the way.
Just remember, if you end up with a mansion, then you end up with like an entourage of people that want your money, that follow you around, you know. But hey, if you're making enough money and you can pay and can do that, why not, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean,
I'd like that.
If I get that much money, I'm swearing I'm having a bowling alley installed in my basement.
Well, you guys need to come to the U.S., guys.
I mean, we would love to. We're working actually on trying to get over there, but the booking scene at the moment is really, really tough. We played with Amorphous when they were in Denmark, the Finn band, and they actually had an American support band with them. I can't remember the name of them.
Starkill.
Starkill, yeah. And we had a fun with those, and they said they also wanted to have us in the U.S. So we're actually working on it, but we would need a bigger tour for it to make it happen. But we would love nothing more than to come playing for you guys. Trust me.
Well, if you guys come and make it to a town near me, near where I live, I will come see you guys.
That would be awesome.
And it's funny that you mentioned Starkill, because that's the other album on my phone that I've been listening to a lot.
It is?
Their new album.
Awesome. Those are really cool. I mean, I remember when they were doing their sound check, they were doing Backstreet Boys. They were standing and singing a cappella Backstreet Boys. We were just standing having a beer because our sound check was over, and we were just like, huh, well, that's new.
They just wanted to throw everybody off for when they started.
Oh, definitely. It was a weird concert overall because there was one date last year where there was this hurricane in Denmark. I mean, every big road was closed and the police were telling everyone to go inside. I mean, it was terrible. And of course, it was that one night we had to play a concert with Starkill and Amorphous. So from a totally booked concert, I think there was like 100 people who showed up, who defied the weather and defied the police to come to this concert. It was awesome.
They're like, God damn it, I paid to go to this show and I'm going.
Exactly. I mean, there was a woman from Japan who came to see Amorphous because it was the closest concert there. She went from Japan to Denmark to see one concert. That was insane.
Yeah, she's used to typhoons. She's like, this is nothing.
Yeah, you call this weather? So, but it was a fun night though. I mean, everyone was having. It was a more personal atmosphere because everyone was there and they knew that there was probably not going to be a lot of fans there. So just having 100 people there was amazing. Yeah. And they were obviously there to party. I mean, they were going wild. It was fun.
It was a hardcore gang or group.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You got a hurricane. You're told to stay inside. What else are you going to do? I mean, really.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Get wasted and rock out.
Yeah, or just sitting and thinking about, oh, I could have gone to that concert. Damn. So,
Okay, I have another question for each member of the band. I'm very curious to know what you are listening to right now. So your iPod, MP3 player, iPhone, however you guys listen to music. I'm curious to know what band you're listening to right now.
all right. Peter, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Right now, I'm really, really into the new I Hate God album and the Down 4 EP Part 2. That's fucking amazing. And also, I gotta say, when it comes out, the Danish When Water Runs Deep Pangea EP is gonna be out soon. That is so fucking amazing. Modern metal, gent, it really rocks.
Yeah, right now actually I'm listening to Egypt Central. Kind of came back, on my playlist after being on hiatus for a while, and also a local Danish band called Third Eye. Really cool guys as well. So, well, that's actually the two bands I'm focusing on right now.
And I just installed a new audio system in my car, so I had to test it out with a Danish band, and of course it was Billy Boy and Poison, and what's it called, Metal Death something, and they're doing an awesome job. So that's where my head is right now.
I actually just got Accept's new album, so that's what I've been listening to. Old school shit.
It's funny you mentioned Slipknot earlier. I'm usually listening to Slipknot's new album and the duo from or the duo album from Five Finger Death Punch. Seeing as they're just going on tour with Volbeat, so
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, the new Five Finger Death Punch is definitely rolling my chair at the moment. So,
Have you heard the new Volbeat song with King Diamond?
oh, actually, I haven't. It's I
They
haven't.
made a song with King Diamond?
Apparently, they did.
Yeah, here, hold on, I'll find it. I'll tell you what it is because one of the
Thanks,
DJs has
man.
been playing it on their show, so of course I had to download it so I could play it as well.
Yeah.
It's called Room 24.
Okay.
Cheers, man.
Huh,
Yes.
I didn't actually know that.
And the reason, I've been in this big King Diamond kick lately, just listening to old stuff, just all this shit. I've been listening. I watched some a couple interviews yesterday with him.
Hmm?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not that nobody asked, but that's what I've been listening to a lot lately. It's King Diamond.
Good
No,
choice.
but it's
Well,
fun because we actually, considering that Volbeat is from Denmark, we actually haven't heard that much from them lately. I mean, they're focusing a lot on the US scene after they broke through, after they did the tour with Five Finger Death Punch. Just up to that, they had a few tours with Metallica. They were all over the news in Denmark. I mean, you couldn't turn a corner without hearing about Volbeat.
Right.
But currently, for the last half year or so, it's actually been pretty quiet. Can't really blame them. I mean, they're having the time of their lives in the U.S.
Definitely. Okay, so what do you guys do to relax when you're not practicing, when you're not doing shows, playing music? What do you guys? Anybody have any crazy hobbies?
Oh, plenty. I can speak for myself. For myself, I paint and collect models. I play Warhammer 40,000, and watch movies. That's primarily what I do when I relax.
Yeah, well, I sleep a lot, and I have my trusty Xbox to keep me company. So yeah, well, I have to sleep when I have time off because my schedule is so packed. It's like I have one evening a week to myself. So yeah, a lot of sleeping and a lot of Xbox goes into that one.
Well, for me, I'm a motorcycle mechanic when I'm at work, and I take care
Oh,
I think we
around
lost them.
motorcycles.
oh, there you are. Okay, fell off for a second there.
What's your favorite type of motorcycle to work on?
Are you there?
I think we lost them.
He's
Yeah,
out.
The question
He
killed
did.
his internet.
All right.
Well, I hope he doesn't say Honda. That's no, that's not good.
Anybody
Yeah,
else got anything to share?
Yeah, I'm also a big fan of sleep. It's really great pastime. But I also watch a lot of ice hockey. Support the local team, although we're kind of crap sometimes. And just trying to be somewhat of a responsible person and take care of my education.
You're lying.
Yeah. Well, I have taken an education.
Well, good luck with that. I hope you're successful.
Well, thank you.
Well, I guess while we wait for Matthias to come back, he and I go riding on our motorcycles. When the weather's for it. I can't really speak for him, but I guess his answer would. Oh, he's there, or
he's back.
Hey, answer the question, man.
Yeah. I go to concerts. I drink beer. I ride motorcycles.
He also asked you what kind of motorcycle you prefer to work on.
Old school cafe style choppers and old school Japanese racers.
Okay, very nice.
Well, to break that sleeping preference, I don't like to sleep.
But you do it enough.
I just sleep when you're not awake.
True that.
Sleep in the middle of the day, man.
Yeah.
You sleep when we rehearse, man.
That's it. Well, I can do it because I'm awesome.
All right, that we catch everybody.
I think so. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, what is the craziest thing that's ever happened to you at a live show you've done? And when I ask that question, I will also add that you're willing to talk about.
That would probably be a gig that we had. I think it was like a year back. It's not per se a certain thing that happened, but the entire setup was just it was weird. Usually we get invited to certain private parties to play, not only big concerts, but we had this from a local motorcycle gang. They asked us to come and play at the reunion, or they had been together for like 30 years, and they wanted a local band to come and play for them. And they heard that we played rock and metal, so they wanted us to come out and play. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, it could be fun. We got out there. We had our bus going, etc. We came out there, and we found out they hadn't got a tent or anything. We were playing in like an extension of their living room. We got out there, it was like, okay, and we got like, I don't know. We could barely stand there, and they had like one power socket for the entire setup. So we did the best we could. We set everything up. We had lights, we had camera, we had microphone, we had everything with us. So just one power socket. We were afraid it was going to explode at any minute. We set everything up, squeezed in, and then we went upstairs to get something to eat before we hit the stage. We had brought a set of roughly 1 hour. And the guy responsible for the concert, he came up afterwards and asked us, okay, well, how long are you going to play? I said, we expect 1 hour. And then he said, well, is it possible you could split up into 2 times half an hour with 45 minutes in between? It's like, isn't that kind of like old man's party? I mean, it's like 30 minutes, and then everyone cools down to get another 30 minutes. I mean, our set is made to kind of keep the tempo up all the way through. But we agreed to have 10 minutes interlude between like half the set.
Big mistake.
Yeah, I mean, when we got down there, it was also obvious that they were expecting something else than what we played. I think they were playing bands that, I don't know, they were recorded like 1970 all the way through. It was like old classic rock. So when we got down there and started playing, it was like an exodus from that place. There was no one left. There was like 2 guys standing out front, and it was an interesting experience. And they started taking the microphone and telling jokes while we were playing the music to try and get some attention. It was awkward as all hell.
This one guy, I guess it was. I couldn't really tell if it was a guy or a girl, but he came up to me and he asked me. He looked me straight in the eye and he asked me, "How do you become so angry?" it was an awkward moment.
Yeah, so we, needless to say, after the concert, we packed our stuff pretty quick and got out of there. It was we talked about it for like 2 days afterwards, and we were kind of we agreed to set more standards for gigs in the future. Let's just put it that way. That was an evening to remember.
So they never invited you back?
No. We never talked to him since we got out of there.
I'm pretty sure. Sorry to interrupt. I'm pretty sure the guy that actually booked us for that gig, hadn't really told them what kind of music it was, and he didn't even.
He weren't even there. Yeah.
No, exactly. So he kind of just left us and left his guys like floating. So.
Food was good though.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. That promoter booker is no longer exists.
He disappeared from the club altogether.
He's disappeared from the planet.
Yeah, definitely. It was probably one of the most embarrassing. I mean, in this industry, you're bound to have some gigs that are either weird or awkward or where you get cast or whatever. But this one was on a totally different level. I don't think I've ever played a concert where people were actively leaving the second we hit the Strokes. Oh, it's so loud. Can you turn it down? It's a concert. Yeah, you can't turn it down. So, yeah, that's probably the most interesting concert I remember that we played.
Well, thank you for sharing that story. That's awesome.
No worries.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you guys the very most important question of this interview, so I hope you're ready.
All right.
Okay.
Which one of the guys in the band spends the most time in front of a mirror before you guys go on stage?
Jacob.
That would be Matthias.
Jacob.
Oh yeah, actually Matthias could be a good contender. He's got this big beard now.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely the beard.
You can have a big beard and don't stand in front of the mirror. I do it.
Yeah, you can look like crap like you do.
I'm beautiful. You suck.
But yeah, I think Matthias is the winner. A close contender is Jacob though. But that's okay. Right. He's the singer. It's supposed to be like that.
I'm supposed to be good looking.
Good luck.
I am actually also the guy who styles the other guys before we go on stage.
No, that would be your girlfriend.
Kind of.
I just want to say that no band that I know of has broken up after this question, so please don't be pissed.
Don't worry. We don't say anything in the interview that we haven't said to each other's faces while we're practicing anyway. Or at least while there's anything to throw at each other. So that's a good start.
I can hear the conversation after this interview. You're gonna be like, those goddamn Americans, stupid ass questions.
No, we've gotten some weird questions over the years.
I'm sure
it's okay. Don't worry.
I'm sure you've had some interviews that were awkward as well. I can only imagine.
There's been some weird statements where there's been like 10 seconds of awkward silence afterwards. Like, we don't know. So.
We had an interview a long time ago, right after a gig. I mean, the second we stepped off the stage. And the first question was like, what was it like? I don't know, hard. I'm sweaty. I'm tired.
It's kind of like after a football match where you just lost. So how did you think it go? Well, it went bad. What do you think? So you get some weird questions. It comes with the territory.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else that I have not asked you guys that you want to make sure the world and everybody hears this interview knows about the band?
Me, Jacob, I'm single.
Dude.
Yeah, well, you gotta try.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, Jacob is in this for the women. Now we know why.
Yeah.
And men.
What?
Curveball.
He ain't even bisexual. He's trisexual. He'll try anything sexual.
If a little promotion, it will probably be if people are interested in hearing about the album before they buy it, we have a lyrics version of one of our songs up on YouTube, so you can even sing along to it. Otherwise, keep posted on our Facebook, etc. We're going to release some more songs over the coming months. so people can also give a listen to it before they buy it. Except for the previews on iTunes, etc., etc. So, but
What's going to be the
otherwise,
official first single you release?
well, so far it's been the third track on the album called Horrific Race. But we are currently getting a music video produced for that one, where it will probably be ready sometime during next spring. And after that, we're actually considering letting the fans decide which one is going to be the next one.
Nice.
And trying to get some kind of not voting, but see what song people really like, and then we will make a video for them because we want to give something back to the fans. I mean, they've supported us all the way through, so we only think it's fair that they get a say in what video they really want to see our take on in terms of songs. So that's the current plan, at least.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I wish you guys the best of luck with the album when it comes out. Before I forget, I want to thank the guys from Mighty Music for sending me your album to preview and helping arrange this interview. So big props to those guys.
Yeah, definitely.
And I also want to tell Jacob that your vocals are freaking amazing on this album. So
thanks, man.
Oh, that's sweet.
So, I mean, everybody in the band is amazing, but the vocalist, so.
Now we won't be able to pull him down for like a month.
Nope.
Well, I like.
Why?
Well, again, it goes back to my comment earlier where I said one of the things that attracted me to the music in the band was that you don't sound like everybody else out there, because I get a lot of music sent to me, and a lot of it just you kind of lose track of who's who. And when I listen to you guys, and I hear the vocals, and I also like how you kind of change it up from different tracks too. So.
That's great to hear. I mean, we could always use the feedback, and it's awesome to hear people like it, because when you're recording the album, everyone thinks that they're the best in the world, but to hear someone else say it, that's something totally different.
Well, I do.
Well, thanks a lot, man.
No problem. I do 2 shows a week, and at least 2 tracks off this new album are played every show I do. So.
Thanks, man. That's awesome.
Give us your address. We'll send you the album.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll email it to you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Definitely. Very cool. Okay. Well, thanks again, guys, for taking time to call in and do the interview. I appreciate it. In the next couple of days, I will have this edited, and I'll upload it to my YouTube channel, and then I will share that again with you guys and also with Mighty Music, so everybody can help spread and promote the interview.
Oh, definitely. We'll split as soon as we can. We also linked to your Facebook page earlier today to give some props your way. So we're looking forward to hearing it.
Very cool.